today, funerals are being held for one of the teachers killed in the attack, Irma Garcia. Now, if you remember, we talked about it on the show. Her husband, Joe, is also being laid to rest today. Can you imagine? He died of a heart attack just 2 days after his wife was killed. Wow. We're also learning that the back door that the gunman used to enter the school was, in fact, closed by a teacher at the school after she realized a gunman was on campus. Officials said the door failed to lock. Now, there are new questions for the Uvalde School District Police Chief, Pete Arredondo. Multiple reports say he's not cooperating with the state investigation after his decision not to confront the shooter and storm the classroom immediately. As you remember, he came under intense scrutiny. Jeff, we talked about this. 90 minutes those kids were in there. 90 minutes they had to witness. 90 minutes, God forbid, they could have been saved. The ones that were, may God rest and bless their soul, survived. What do you think about him not cooperating with, allegedly not cooperating with the investigation?
I think it's very telling for how he's feeling, right? I don't know if it was fear that got the best of him or what the reasoning was why he didn't go in that building or make the call, how it got from a barricaded shooter to when you hear shots. I mean, you don't have to have training to know if you hear shots. That's no longer the situation anymore. We have to do something. There's one guy in there, we know that, someone with one rifle, and there's 30 of us. We got to go do that, even with parents as a quote-unquote militia wanting to go in themselves. You got to take action. I understand the fight or flight mode, but if you sign up and you're wearing those things on your arm and you're there to protect and you have that badge, I think that there's a lot of police officers out there that are questioning themselves right now. Do I have what it takes if something like this does go down? Do I have what it takes to fulfill my duties? That's the way I see it.
I agree with you. You know, from the moment that the story broke and we found out how long it took for them to actually go in, it's not to go back in the story, but it really is unfathomable to think about. It really reeked of self-preservation. Yeah. The fact that he's not cooperating right now kind of indicates to me, I'm speculating that there's a legal counsel that is telling him not to cooperate. So
I'm angry. I'm sorry. Listen, you should have thought about that. And I have great respect for police officers, for those who, I know that we need a lot of reform in this country. Let me preface that. But Tori, in this situation, so much could have been prevented. So much could have been done. We saw the parents trying to go in there. None of that should have happened. They should have immediately gone in right from the get-go. If you're not meant to be a police officer, then don't take that oath and don't sign up. And then my child is left to die. So I'm angry, and I'm angry for the community, and I'm angry for those parents.
Let me tell you something really quick. The FBI is investigating. The Department of Justice will be investigating. A subpoena will happen to this man if he refuses to. And if you don't go to your subpoena, you're in contempt of court at that point. This man should be immediately put on administrative leave or fired. My question is, one, did the other officers not feel like they could break rank? Because the commander said, we've changed the situation. But if I'm a cop and I hear gunshots, what do I do in that situation? And two, he was just voted into city council last night of Uvalde behind closed doors. So when we talk about local politics, this man, the man we're all talking about now, just quietly got put into the city council. So think about how important it is to be on every vote, to think of every way down, because it's that man's decision that ordered them to stand down.
They always say, act local, think global.
That's it.
Okay. In Washington, a group of bipartisan senators are reportedly making progress on legislation they hope can get passed. It would focus on helping states pass red flag laws that would allow officials to temporarily take guns away from individuals who are seen as a threat to themselves or others. Meantime, in New York, a survivor of the mass shooting on a subway in April is suing the gun maker Glock. She claims the company is contributing to creating and maintaining a public nuisance. That is the quote. So it's a test for a new law that allows victims of gun violence to sue firearm makers or dealers for their injuries. Glock has not responded to the lawsuit. Tori, I know you have more details on the red flag law. And then I just want to discuss if you guys feel in general if this is a good step forward or if this is
Baby steps, right. Remember, we need 60 votes to pass. It's not just a majority. We need a lot of bipartisanship to make this pass. One, the red flag law isn't actually doing a federal thing. They're incentivizing with money for the states to make their own decisions on red flag laws. Like, we'll give you grants if you have red flag laws. So far, we have 19 states with red flag laws. They're hoping to increase it. Two, they want to do not universal background checks, just expansion of background checks so that every commercial sale, meaning every gun shop, would have that a background check. But there's so many loopholes that need to be closed, including the gun show loophole, et cetera, that these are micro steps. I mean, these are Canada's making large steps forward, right? Yesterday, we saw Prime Minister Trudeau say we're banning the handguns. We are taking, in my opinion, way too small.
This is a joke. I'm sorry, I'll call it what it is.
It's like a Band-Aid.
This is a joke.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Is a joke. Do you feel like they're doing enough?
You have to go forward in some sense. I don't know why the suing of the gun manufacturer makes me feel a little icky, because I get you need some sort of compensation for that and someone's got to pay that price. But then at the same time, those lawyers step in and are like, we're suing for $200 million. And it's like every single person's going to sue for that. And then now it becomes an insurance issue. We have to move forward. I don't even want to get into all that, but we have to move forward. And this is some little, like you said, tiny micro step. We have to start somewhere. Something is better than nothing.
Well, the problem is by doing micro steps, that means that more lives are in jeopardy, more lives will be lost. And I think anytime you are at risk of losing money, it prompts you to do something a little bit more than what you were going to do yesterday. We're talking about a system where manufacturers, where there's lobbyists, where politicians, there's all of these people involved. And if you are all involved and in cahoots together, once one person is extracted from that and people are saying, we're going after you, the gun manufacturer, then all your other cronies in your circle have to either stick up for you or they have to go against you. So that kind of causes a rift in the system that we're talking about.
And there's so much money
everybody's in it together because of the money.
Yeah, it's all the money.
So that's where you have to start, because clearly babies' lives aren't enough to move the needle. But I bet you millions of dollars will.
Right. Well, to any of the viewers out there that want to join me, I have my first meeting tonight with Moms Demand Action. Our producer, Megan, is joining me as well. And I ask our viewers, look up your local community chapters. To Tori's point, there's a Moms Demand Action in almost every town, every city. Go to momsdemandaction.org.